Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing this tutorial on this rag rug bracelet. So Alex Innovations, I think, to my knowledge, created this concept of the rag rug bracelet. However, they make theirs a bit different than I make mine, and I did see the Knots That Bind on Instagram had their own take on the rag rug, and they made it just like this. So the concept is started by Alex Innovations, but this kind of remake or spin-off version of it was made by the Knots That Bind, to my knowledge. I'm gonna leave their Instagrams linked down below if you guys want to check them out. They have awesome stuff. And this bracelet is pretty beginner friendly, so if you are pretty new to bracelets, this should be pretty easy for you to make. It's really not that hard at all. It definitely takes a lot longer than the average bracelet takes to make, which kind of sucks, but yeah. Let's just get into the video. Alright guys, so to make this bracelet, you're going to need some embroidery floss to be the base of your bracelet, some scissors, lots of tape, and then you can also use all of your scrap thread to make this. It's kind of the point of the rag rug bracelet, is to just use all of your scraps to make this. But you can obviously use normal embroidery floss if you don't have any scraps. So this is actually an alpha pattern. You guys have been begging me to do alpha patterns, so I am here to deliver an alpha pattern for you guys. And the way we make these bracelets is a bit different than the 1-2 pattern bracelets. The alpha patterns have base strings, and then they have their background color strings. So for the base of your rag rug bracelet, you're gonna need to cut some strings. I cut these a little bit longer than half my wingspan. I didn't cut them a full wingspan's length because you're not actually going to be making any knots with the base strings, so they won't be getting any shorter, so you don't necessarily need them to be that long. However, for this bracelet, you can cut as many strings as you want, and that will just determine the thickness of this bracelet. I did 4 strings, and then I folded those 4 strings in half to get 8 total strings. So yeah, you can go ahead and just cut as many as you want, but yeah. Once you have all your base strings cut and they're folded in half, you can go ahead and just start this bracelet however you would like. I think that these look good with the stitched loop at the top, but you don't have to do it that way. I have a bunch of videos linked down below for you guys to check out if you don't know how to start a bracelet or whatever, you need more ideas. I'm just doing the stitched loops, so yeah. Once your bracelet is started, go ahead and just tape that bad boy down. I think I'm going to start using clear tape so that you guys can actually see the top. I thought that'd be kind of a cool idea. Alright, so now we're going to actually start to make the bracelet. So just take a piece of scrap thread. You can also just use normal embroidery floss that you already have. And just take a piece, whatever color you want, and go ahead and tape it down on the side of the bracelet, on the left side, and leave a little bit of a tail. And then just grab one of your base strings and take the scrap thread and just do a forward knot using the scrap thread over top of one of your base strings. And yeah, just keep doing forward knots over top of all your base strings all the way down the line of strings with your scrap thread. And then once you get to the other side, just go ahead and cut that scrap off and leave a little tail, and that's pretty much this bracelet. So just go ahead and pick up another scrap piece or the same scrap piece, whatever you want to do, and do the same thing. Just tape it down on the left side of the bracelet, leaving a little tail, and then just doing forward knots using the scrap thread over top of all the base strings all the way across. And then once you get to the other side, just cut off the remaining, leaving a little tail, and just keep doing that until your bracelet's long enough. You can also do this bracelet going from right to left if you wanted to, so you can just tape down your scrap thread on the right side, and if you do that, then you'll have to do backward knots with your scrap thread over top of your base strings. So going from right to left is backward knots, and left to right is forward knots, but it's the same process, just different knots. Alright, so this is what my almost finished rag rug bracelet looks like. And I want it to look like this. So what I'm gonna do is take some scissors and carefully trim these sides to the length you want. You can just leave it like that if you want, but I don't know how I feel about that. But I just trim mine to be fairly short. And just try and cut in a straight line. If you're a perfectionist, this probably is going to be very painful for you because you will be constantly trimming it down to try and be perfect. But yeah, just kind of trim the sides down to the length you want, kind of cut them up a little bit, trim them so they are nice. And once they're cut, I just take my nail and kind of like run it through them to try and like fray the ends a little bit because I like them to be like frayed and messy. You don't have to do that, but that's just like a little trick that I do. So yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much this rag rug recycled bracelet. There are my two. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Alright guys, so that was the tutorial. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. As always, all my social medias and my FAQ and everything like that is linked in the description box if you have any questions. Also, I don't know if you can hear that outside, but something, I don't know what's happening outside, but there's a noise outside, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. And I'm also in Christmas pajamas. I love you guys. Bye.